We are reviewing the match between Tottenham and City at the Etihad Stadium. Gosh, it's one of those matches when you don't want to sort of be here, afterward. But hey, we're here. I've got four guests with me today, and they will join us on the other side in just a few seconds. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs. Don't know what's happening to my system here today. It seems to be having a I've got Ben and I've got Fireman, Falabi I call Fireman. Yeah, so they're all here today. I've got a fourth guy joining us in just a few seconds if you can get him on. But in the meantime, let Ben, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks a lot.
I did promise we'll have a celebrity guest here today, and his name is Yinka. Yinka has appeared on so many TV shows and films and, Netflix, everywhere. So, Yinka Wuni, welcome to the program. How are you?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Spurs fan from God knows how long, eh? And I've
Sorry, I
also
didn't get that.
I said Spurs fan from God knows how long, eh?
Yes, I'm born and bred Tottenham.
There you
From Turnpike Lane, M15. Proud to be lifelong.
Okay, and then I've also got Folabi Fireman. How are you, Folabi?
I'm good, thanks. How are you all? Nice to
We're,
be
we're,
here.
we're all
Thank
good.
you
We're
for
all
having
good. We're all
me.
good. So let's just see. I'm trying to get Dokun on. Just bear with me 1 second. So Dokun is on in 1 second. I think he should be here actually. Hold on 1 second. Let me just try and get him in. It's a little. Aha, there he is. And then we can get him on now. Dokun, how are you? Can you hear
Very
us?
good, thank you. Good evening, all.
Good evening. Right, so we've got a full complement of guests here today. Beautiful. Right, if you're joining us for the first time, this is Common Spurs TV. We are reviewing the match between Tottenham and City. What a match. From a neutral perspective, amazing match. From a Spurs perspective, disaster. But we always talk about a game of two halves, don't we? Right? Tottenham never start well in the first half. They haven't scored a goal in the first half in almost 14 matches. And we go and score two late goals in the first half, only to think, oh gosh, we're on a roll here. And what happened? Talk us through that, Doku. Welcome to the program. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I don't know if I can talk you through it because I had lots of distractions while I was watching
Oh
the
dear. Okay.
match.
All right. Let's
Safe
go.
to
You got it. You
say,
want to have a go?
when we knocked, I was going to say, safe to say that when those two goals went in towards the end of the first half,
Yeah.
now instead of me to have been joyful, I was actually filled with a sense of foreboding
Oh dear. So,
that,
so you
okay, they're
fix it
going to
for us, then,
come
did you?
really hard at us in the second half.
Okay.
And that is exactly what happened.
Oh dear. So we all know who jinxes it for us, don't we? All right. Yika, what did you think?
What did I think? Well, welcome, guys. Great to be on the show. Thank you very much. I would like to start by requesting that if you could please put all your children to bed right now, because there's going to be some fruity language coming from my side of the world that I do not want to enhance. I am a man of God. I'm a gentle soul, but today I am absolutely fuming.
Hey, you
Know what this is? This is a hot water bottle full of my tears that I've warmed up to keep me warm, and I'm also drinking them today as well. Today
There's
was
no swearing allowed permitted on this platform.
no, that was tongue in cheek to be fair. But
I know.
what I will say is that it was a complete shit show today. Unfortunately, it was from top to bottom. I saw it coming. If you're a Spurs supporter and you've been watching Spurs, when that first goal came in, that feeling in the pit of your stomach, I'm sure a lot of people felt what was going to come. So, yeah, like it wasn't enjoyable to watch. But I saw the result coming as soon as the first goal by Man City went in, and it was like a reminder of that FA Cup match that we had against them at one time when we were winning 2-0 at halftime and ended up losing 3-2. So yeah, it wasn't a pleasant watching. But we'll dissect it as we go along. I'll also introduce the rest of the gentlemen on here as well.
Yeah, Falabi, what did you think?
Well, you know, when I saw, forget the goals, I was more impressed with the way we came out of the blocks in the first half. I mean, we hit City and they were in shock. They didn't expect us to come out the way we came out. And I personally thought Pep was a bit arrogant in his starting lineup. He thought, oh, it's just Spurs, we'll walk over them and everything. I thought he was a bit arrogant. And I was happy the way we pressured and pressured, even from Kane pressuring from the front. I've not seen Kane pressure this long, this much. And then we scored two late goals in the first half towards the end and everything. What my disappointment is, these guys are professionals. These guys are professionals. They don't even need any pep talk at halftime in the dressing room. They know who they're playing against. They know the manager they're playing against, and they know they're going to come out and hit you hard. They got a half the first team on the bench, and they know the manager. And you've got five substitutes allowed. The man can just put on three and change the whole system, change the whole team. And what is really really amazing and disappointing me about the Tottenham players, not Don Conte. I actually feel very sorry for Don Conte. You know, he's going through a very emotional period of time in his personal life right now. And he's trying to remain strong for his family, for the players, for the backroom staff, for the club. If anybody has not noticed, even when we score, he's not getting overexcited, jumping and everything. He's lost two very dear people, two very dear people
Three,
close to him. Three
yeah.
in the last couple of months. Somebody put up on the forum today that he just lost somebody yesterday and he's highly emotional. This guy has lost three dear people very close to him. Even Viali Zone touched me, and I'm not a Chelsea fan. It hit me for about a week. And the guy is not saying anything. So the players should not be expecting him to be pep talking them, babysitting them. They should be out there fighting and knowing what the man is going through. And that is where my disappointment is. As for Lloris, let's just forget that one. Let's just forget that.
Right. Speaking
You
of,
know?
yeah, I mean, thanks for that perspective. I mean, I guess in his press conference the other day, he did mention the fact that he was going through personal challenges, and that kind of puts things in perspective, if you like, and especially to understand that, look,
Anybody that's lost a dear loved one or somebody close to them will be able to empathize with him of what he's going through. It
absolutely.
is not an easy period time. It's not an easy. People go into shells and go and mourn. He's not having a period of time to mourn. He didn't have a period of time to mourn the Marine. He just went to the funeral, came back, got right back into the job. It's not easy. Everybody's shouting on the forum, Conte out, this one out. Are they actually, what they're just talking. They're just talking.
Yeah,
Football is
I guess
more than just
one
this.
one of the things that that we find in football is every football fan wants their team to win all the time, and when they don't win, you hear all the negatives. That's when all the negatives gets trotted out. You know, as to how bad we are doing, how great, I mean, how crazy things are, and all that stuff. You know, so Ben, we had 10 minutes. We haven't had a word from you. You've been just listening and smiling. What's going on? Tell me.
Yeah,
What's
no,
going through your mind?
listen. Yeah, listen. I totally agree with what Falabi said. What we have to do is, well, we don't have to feel sorry for Conte. There's no point feeling sorry for him because he knows what he's going through, and we can actually see what he's going through. And as for the fans who lose their rag when we lose, it's horses for courses. I'm not really bothered about that. But if you talk about the match itself, the first half was I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe what I was watching, and I thought, yeah, Tottenham's back. But I also tempered it with thoughts of, listen, and I keep saying it to the forum. Sometimes it gets me in trouble as well because I mean sometimes it does rant on and on. We have had Conte for close to 18 months. Arsenal, the scum down the road, they had their manager for 3.5 years, and they were abusing the hell out of him. But left to those fans, he would have been gone a long time ago. But look at where they are now. So what I say is, we're seeing that we can play. We haven't got the players yet. We haven't got a Conte team. We know we haven't got the defenders for a Conte team. So we're always going to suffer in the back. And we've got world-class strikers. The thing I worry about is that maybe by the time we get the defense sorted out, we'll lose our front three. But well, we'll probably lose Son and Kane by then. But I was happy because I think that they've overcome this problem of not being able to play the first half sitting back. What we have to understand is that City just came back. City's a top team, not because they lost 2 matches before. They decided to come back against us. I mean, the first half they were sitting back. I mean, they're trying to psych everybody up by saying that they played well the first half, just that we got 2 lucky goals. Well, no one says that to us when we lose 2 goals in the first half. We were just better than them in the first half. We scored 2 goals, and second half they came back stronger. And I mean, look at the possession. We had 40-something possession to their 50, and yet everyone always thought that they normally have 70% possession. So all in all, I'm happy with the evolution of the team. I've just invested in popcorn. I'm going to eat it for the next 2 years, and I think in 2 years' time we'll be the team we actually want, with defenders, not like the meat pie defender we have, and they call him meat pie fridge, whatever his name is, Dyer, and the rest of them. I think we've got to get rid of those guys. So yeah, for me, it was a good improvement, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Well,
I hope you're
in football,
yes.
everyone always says that obviously goals are always as a result of mistakes from either players, defenders, goalkeepers, whatever, right? And from City's perspective, if you look at our first goal, what happened there, Yinka?
From which goal, sorry?
Our first goal, it obviously was as a result of Edison's error, wasn't it?
Yes.
He was trying to make a back. Was that the first one or the second one? I can't remember now. Anyway.
It was the first one. He was trying to be the smart aleck that he thinks he is.
Yes, and then obviously,
and you see, this is the thing. Conte had analyzed that because teams generally do not pressurize City when they're passing up from the back, and Emerson always thinks he's a smart aleck. And we were pressurizing with Kane up from the whistle goal. So that's where the mistake came from, and Kuku managed to latch onto it.
Okay, Yinka, you were going to say something. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that.
Sorry.
No problem at all. Yeah, go ahead. You were going to say what, Yinka? Sorry.
Okay. No, I was going to say that the goals that were conceded by both teams were like mirrors of each other. The mistakes that were being made by defenders and by the defense and by goalkeepers, it was like who was trying to outdo each other when it comes to terrible defending? Who was trying to outdo each other when it comes to mistakes? It was like one team after the other trying to display how much we can make errors at the back. I am a fan of Hugo Lloris. He's Hugo Bossman to me. He's Hugo Bossman, and he will always be Hugo Bossman. But there comes a time when, as a leader, you have to hold your hands up and say, it might be time for me to sit down for a bit and let somebody else take the reins and go. Because leading to too many goals conceded by him. That was 3 mistakes that Hugo Lloris made in regards to the comeback of City. And, teams are now targeting him when it comes to attacking his near post, putting shots in him because he's not holding the ball. And it's become a growing trend. And unless he gets taken out of the firing line, excuse the pun, it's going to continue to happen. It's like teams are knowing how to attack against Lloris. They know that he's so unsteady on his feet, and when the ball's being played out, trying to play out from the back, and how uncomfortable we look, that teams are now attacking us in that state. Same thing that happened at Arsenal, same thing that happened at Man City today. That's how they got back into the game.
Interesting you say that about mistakes. I mean, both teams trying to outdo each other in terms of mistakes, right? And if you look at, I mean, all the goals came from errors, if you like, I mean, for both teams today. But I think ours were more diabolical, if you like, if you want to sort of say in terms of how bad those goals were. I mean, look, you see any of the goals at all? I mean, while you're watching.
Yeah, I saw all of them.
Yes, no, I certainly saw all the goals. And yes, it was a comedy of errors. At least I think is it the 3 goals, the first 3 goals we let in. Loris fumbling on the one that went past him on the near post. I'm not sure that there's anything he could have done to stop that.
Really?
The goalkeeper's first job is to cover your near post.
You don't know where the man's gonna kick the ball to. He might pass it to an opponent. You have to be ready for that. He might kick it in the near post, and you cover it as best you can. And the guy was accurate enough with his shot, such that it went past that little gap there was between him and the post. Could he have covered it on a good day for him? He would have saved it. Perhaps it wasn't his day to day. Look, I'm not one for finger pointing at errors in the game. These guys, as has been pointed out earlier, are professionals. They are in training every day. And if there was a better keeper available to us as a team, I'm sure the coach would have picked that keeper at the time. But yes, Hugo is a bit of, at the moment, he's everyone's rag. And everyone's taking a pop at him. Yes, he is getting on in years, but he is a good goalkeeper. 2 or 3 times in the first half, he made very good saves. Although, we wouldn't have gone in with that 2-0 lead if he hadn't made those saves.
Okay.
So,
right. So, I mean,
I just want to say that, look, our team, as Ben pointed out, is a team in transition. We've got a new coach. He's obviously trying all sorts of things with the team and instilling his system in the team. Maybe that takes a bit more than 12 months. We all have the example of Pep, who it took him 2 years to get his team to where he wanted it to be in terms of the training and the skills and in terms of assembling the sort of players he has. The same thing with Klopp, the same thing much more recently with Arsenal. These are not such difficult things to understand that, when you're instilling a system in a team, sometimes you're lucky, you might have a Tuchel and you start winning things straight away. But this is not This is the exception. It's not the rule that you have immediate success with your team and your methods. These things can take time.
Okay, I mean that's.
And
I love the balanced view of trying of saying that okay, maybe Lloris could, well, it probably wasn't too much of his fault and it maybe could have done better. People are having a pop at him and all that, right? And like you, right, I'm not one for finger pointing. However, on this occasion, I know Falabi's trying to say something, but let me just add this before you come in, Falabi, right? I've lost count now of the number of errors that Lloris has made that's cost us matches.
Yeah.
Way too many. Way too many. I mean, if you look back at all our losses so far, this season so far, right? I'm pretty sure that Lloris has been responsible for at least 75% of those losses. Look at Newcastle.
10 points. 10 points.
You know?
You dropped from
You know,
errors from Lloris. 10 points.
it's
That would have brought us to 40-something points above Arsenal.
that level. You know? I mean, if you say that he's made saves during the match, what's he paid to? What's he paid for? He's paid to make saves. You know, so you
This is
don't.
last season.
Defenders are also on the field to protect the keeper.
Absolutely.
As much as possible.
I
So
understand that.
I would say if you're gonna point
no,
to
but if you
anything,
if you
point
think
to
of
the
it,
whole defensive unit.
and I get that, but there are times in the course of a match when you have the responsibility to do your job and you don't do it properly. You're meant to hold the ball, you don't hold the ball. You're meant to come out, you don't come out. You come out when you're not supposed to come out. What's that got to do with defenders? Why can't you still make a shot make a save at the near post? That's nothing to do with your defense. That's to do with you. You know. So they provide a line of defense for you. You honestly, I'm sick and tired of his errors. I'm sorry. Falabi, you're listening to something. Sorry.
yeah, I got a few things to say. You know, the first one was you said Lloris is getting on in age. How old is Lloris older than CR7? CR7 is an outfield player. Did Peter Shilton, how many years, how many decades ago, play until 38, even keeping for England?
In his 40s.
Keepers, exactly. You said it yourself. So you have
Oh
said
yeah,
it
I
yourself.
mean,
Wait, let me. No. I allowed you to talk. Let me talk. Keepers are the ones that can have the longest longevity in football, in sports, in hockey, because they don't have to do so much running around. They don't have to do so much tackling. Their their energy is preserved much longer. You know, Loris is our captain, and I respect him and I appreciate him, and I thank him. Loris is on 200K a week. Goalkeepers and goalkeeping coach will tell you the worst place to concede a goal is on your near post.
Correct.
Every other place, yeah, we can defend you. But your near post is a no go. That one we can't defend. So to say, last week he did it, that it was even given as an own goal. Last week he did it, and it was given as an own goal. He's done it again. What defense can you give to that? You can't say the
I can.
defenders. A team, you shoot.
He hit the
I
boot
can't.
now.
What?
He hit the boot. That ball went in because he hit the defender's boot.
Well, okay. So and I hear you. So, let
I mean, look,
let me ask you a quick question, right? So, Inka,
Let me ask you.
sorry,
know,
Ben, you want to say something, Ben? Sorry.
yeah.
But
No,
you
No,
can-
I'm just saying that the ball,
I'm gonna finish.
the ball hit the defender's boot before he went into the goal, and that's what beat Lloris. I don't rate Lloris. I think Lloris should retire at the end of the season.
Okay, so you're saying
So I'm
it
not
was
looking for
deflection.
excuses for him
So you're
at
saying it
all.
was
But the thing is, they
deflection. You're
showed
saying
it.
it was
The ball
deflection.
hit. Okay, this guy's talking as well. Sorry.
Sorry, it was me. You're saying it was deflection.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. Now, there was the other
but
thing of you saying about that those winners, the one that used to assist Klopp. I refuse to say their name and I refuse to say his name. Those ones down the road.
The others, the others.
That whatever they call themselves, that's their business. You know who I'm talking about.
Abi.
And let
Bro,
me
it's
talk.
only football.
Hey, hey,
No,
hey,
they're the
let
others.
me talk
But
now.
carry
Let
on,
me talk
please.
my own
Carry
mind.
on, please.
You
Don't
have your
mind
own,
me.
I have my own now. You have your own, I have my own. Just the same way I'm feeling empathy for Conte. And some people are not feeling empathy for Conte or sympathy. I am. Look, Klopp, the one down the road, and even Pep, they were all under long-term contracts. They signed those long-term contracts. We have a situation with a manager that has not signed a long-term contract. His contract ends comes up in December. I mean in
in the summer.
summer,
Hmm.
June. Everybody is shouting, DL this. What do you do? Do you back 100% a manager that's not signing a long-term contract? If he's ready to sign, okay, we back you. If you're not ready to sign, what what do we do? We're in a quagmire right now. We're in a quagmire right now as a
That's a very
as a
interesting point you've made. Sorry to interrupt you, Falabi. I think it's something that a lot of Spurs fans have been debating over the last few weeks in terms of all the Spurs fans have been on meltdown when it comes to the board, the coach, the players. Everyone is on what I call a negative spiral, if you like, and it's a little bit difficult to say who's right or who's wrong. But I think if you look at it on balance, if you like, I mean, there's so many views on this. Some people say that Eric should not be running Tottenham because they've basically done what they call just profiting from Tottenham without investing in the football side, right? However, if on the other
football
side,
is a
we have never had it so good in a very long time. When was the last time you had Spurs always in Champions League in Europe? When I mean in the 80s, it just never happened. It just never happened. You know, we were always middle of the table type team. You know, struggling. Now we are regular top six. I mean, it's like I mean, it used to be top four for a very long time. City crashed the party when they came with their money. We crashed. Leicester did as well. So it's like, so the whole trajectory has changed in terms of how Tottenham is perceived of, in terms of where we are now, right? However, if you also look at it, I mean, we spent in that time. Okay, we probably overtook Arsenal, if you like, in money state. Okay, people will say to you, "Oh, it's not only about money." However, if you're going to build a foundation, right, you need to
oh,
from the investment in everything. And we are, I think we're making good progress from an investment perspective. And the results, when they come, they will come in. That's my view anyway. I mean, it's not yet, but I mean, I think it will come when we have a solid enough foundation. We're paying for a stadium, remember, and that stadium is not going to be paid for in 2 years. It's only 3 years old. And people are still shouting, "Oh yes, we don't have we have money. We're getting plenty of money. We're ninth in the league in terms of earnings and all that sort of thing." I mean, and for me, I just think that we need to strike a balance between being overly critical of the structure, at the same time being realistic as to where we're at. Okay, fine. I mean, we're not winning as we should be winning, or as we want to win rather. But these things take time to develop, in my humble opinion. Yika, you want to say something? I see you nodding.
Yeah, no, I'm just agreeing with what you're saying. Sorry, excuse me.
That's a plus.
It's a thought came to me. A thought came to me while we we're discussing about the future of this particular edition of Tottenham, this 2022-2023 season of the squad. And it was, I don't know if you've seen the documentary, The Last Dance, about the Chicago Bulls team that went and done a three-peat.
Yes.
And they knew
Yeah.
that at the end of that season, it was going to get blown up, that team. They knew that
Yes.
the coach was going to go, Scottie
Yeah.
Pippen wasn't going to sign a new contract, the whole team was going to blow up, Jordan was going to retire. I see a similar thing happening to Tottenham this season in regards of where we're at, in regards of the board, the fan. I mean, we're a house divided at the moment. And I see this season as a last dance for Harry Kane, for Son, for Lloris, for Eric Dyer, for the coach, even the board itself. This may be the last dance for them. So all this complaining and strife that we've had in the house, come next season, a lot is going to change, whether we like it or not. And I'm hoping, the hope is this, similar in the last dance. What was the great thing about it? They ended with a victory of some sort. They won silverware. They won the NBA title, well, it was the Chicago Bulls. If Tottenham, by hook or by crook, come out of this season with some form of silverware, it justifies Enoch, it justifies Harry Kane staying, Son staying. So I think I want to wait to the end of this season before I make any definitive judgment in regards of what I'm seeing at the moment. I'm giving them this season. Like, we have to give Conte this season to prove his worth. He only had half a season the last term, and he got us to Champions League. Give him this season. Give these players this season. Give the board this season. Give everyone this season to prove it. The only problem is that it's become so toxic now that there's so much pressure on the squad to deliver. Can they deliver? We saw last season how much it was a struggle to. That when it came to it, like we were struggling to put things together, and then we done it. So I think that for the end of the season, we have to evaluate things. Then it may be too late by then. People have already signed already started switching off, but we're still in the Champions League, we're still in the FA Cup, and we're still fifth-ish in the league. Give us a chance, and I think that we'll try and we may do something still. All hope is not lost.
Ben is smiling.
Yeah, I got a smile. Thanks for all that. Yeah, I mean, you're just saying exactly what I've been saying. That I haven't watched that film, but now you made me want to watch it. I'm going to watch it and
the best sporting documentary you'll ever see. Honestly, it's brilliant.
Really?
Netflix.
Okay, last dance.
It's not the best. It's pretty okay. It's not the best. I will not say.
Well, that be being as agreeable as ever.
I know, right?
It sounds like a bear with a problem. You got a bee in his body.
You're a Chicago Bulls fan, and you're a Pippen fan and everything. I gave it to you, but unfortunately, I am not. So I'll say it's okay. It's one of the best, and in fairness, there's a lot of emotions and everything in it, and there's a lot of heartfelt truth that's displayed in it. Yes, and I agree with that. But I would still not say it's the best.
Okay, so someone says Last Dance is not the best. Someone says it's one of the best you see. But hey, one of the best doesn't mean the best. But hey, it's a bit of what I call how am I gonna put this? Splitting hairs, if you like.
Watch it, and make your own judgment. Watch it and make your own judgment. That's
absolutely. So I mean, it's always about matter of opinion. But Ben, you're going to say something. You're going to say that you wanted to sort of go and look out for it and watch it, right?
Yeah. I'm going to basically this season for me, and probably next season as well, has been a Google season. That's for me. It's been Google. Just get popcorn and watch the team go through the motions. I mean, last year Just come down the road. If you watch their the Amazon film, I forget I forget the name of it.
All or
But if
nothing.
you watch that,
All or nothing,
yeah,
right?
all or nothing, right? All or nothing. I was laughing myself silly. The last episode was just too funny, you know. But that was them last season, and look at them now. But people refuse to understand that Conte didn't come to Spurs with players in his back pocket. He didn't come with all his defenders from Milan. He came on his own, and now he's trying to change the team. And I'm sure as eggs are eggs, I think from what Falabi was saying, about him, he's looked at it and thought, well, this is football. He's just gonna try and make a name for himself because in the end, all those guys that he's lost, they made a name for themselves. Vialli was a nice guy, and he was very very close to him. And in the end, when you leave this planet, it's all the memories that you leave behind that matter. And as far as I'm
And
concerned,
the Marine. The Marine was extremely close
yeah,
to
yeah, and
him
the
as well.
Marine. They both left legacies behind. And I think what Conte wants to do, forget about all this social media. He doesn't, thank God he doesn't listen
Exactly.
to our forum, because if he did, he freaking kill someone. He doesn't listen to
No,
this.
they
All he's
probably
trying to
killed the
do,
whole bloody forum.
all he
And I
all he's
won't blame
doing
him.
is,
And I won't
yeah, yeah,
blame him.
yeah, exactly. So all he's trying to do is make a name for himself with Spurs, trying to do something. He knows he didn't come to the job thinking I'm going to do it in one day. We were lucky that the rest of the teams, especially Arsenal, messed up last season because they still had Arteta, who was learning the ropes. Otherwise, we won by 1 point, so it would have been a different story. So we got
Let,
through, and
let's
now suddenly
okay.
everybody thinks that Tottenham should be up there challenging for the title. But we're an unfinished project. We're going to get there eventually, but we're not going to get there just by wishing it and by saying we're crap and by saying we're rubbish
Or
and by saying we're
by
the
whinging or
worst team
whining
in the league.
endlessly
Yeah,
about
so
it.
We're the
don't go
worst
to the
team in the
forum.
league. We're rubbish. We're this.
No, we're the
It
worst
gets me.
club, not in
Sometimes
the
I,
league.
I
Oh.
overreact.
In the,
I overreact to them, and that's on me. What I'm going to do now is I'm not even going to listen to them. I just
do
ignore
what
them
I do.
and just,
Don't
yeah,
go on it.
just ignore,
Somebody like
But
Soji
sometimes
said to
sometimes
me,
they get you, and you just want to just say something to these guys like, shut the fuck up. But,
mm,
you know, but, you know,
that is
2
what they
years
want.
time, we'll be laughing.
That is exactly what they want. Don't engage them. Don't engage them. Do what
Yeah.
I do. And when they said that they were the worst wrong club in the league, I said, okay, no problem. We're the worst wrong club. What you should now do is bid to buy the club. You know what? No, it's true now. You want to buy this player? Oh, they just
But
have bought this player. We have not bought this player. Okay, no problem. Bid to buy the club, and then bid to go and buy all the players in the world that you want to buy. Since it's your money, nobody will talk.
all right.
That's what
So
I said.
what you find in debates though, I mean, in every forum you find is that there are always divergent views, right? There'll be those who take a extreme view, one form or the other, right? And the beauty of debates, open debate, is the fact that we're able to tolerate each other's points of view without necessarily it resulting in what you call a slanging match or being dismissive of other people's opinions. I mean, which everyone's entitled to their opinion. However, I mean, I strongly have this what I call a positive view about Spurs all the time. People call me the eternal positivist, if you like, But hey, that's just me. But some others would look at the situation and see doom, gloom, and every negative you can conceivably think of, right? However, but I mean, we've been following sports for God knows over 50 years, so we've seen it all, And in that time, I've never seen a Tottenham team riding this high for a very, very long time. This version of Spurs is like, honestly, I see us in a few years' time, like really, really, really top of the league, in every respect. And that might sound like a pipe dream to a lot of people now. However, think about it, right? We've got one of the best stadiums in the world. We fill that place every week in, week out. The revenues from there are just unbelievable. And Give us a few years, 5, 6 years, and you see what that will result into. It will give us the buying power to do all we need to do. In fact, as it is now, we're actually a very attractive investment proposition. Okay, people will say yes, investment. But listen, if you don't have money, you can't build. We've not had the cash flow before now. But we built a stadium, we built infrastructure that will support growth. I just wish that people will see that and take a long-term perspective. Because every time we lose a match, people lose their rags. And you just go, oh, Kulusevski is Kane should go, Son should go, Son is useless. Or, I'm thinking to myself, where do these people get off? I'm sorry, where do these people get off? I'm not saying they shouldn't have the point of view, but it's not every time we lose a match that things become totally dire, Okay, fine. Okay, let's just go back a little bit to the game today. I mean, so first half we're going 2 goals up, our tails are up, everything looks honky dory. Second half, what happened there? Come on, you want to say something?
All right, second half. You have to give credit to Manchester City. They were like a shark in the water. Tottenham cut themselves. They had that little bit of blood in the water, and then they went for the kill. As soon as they got that goal, they went for the kill, and the tide was swung. Even though Tottenham has been one of the better teams in the Premier League when it comes to second half displays, Man City still blew them out of the water with their attacking play and their intent. Yes, when the game was more stretched, we started to come back into the game when we were 3-2 down. But I was just impressed with the way that Man City was so ruthless when the opportunity come to take the game. And I had this thought in my head again. If an alien ship was coming to Earth and they wanted to take over Tottenham, and they had that beam on top of Tottenham and said, "Show me who the real Tottenham is," we could show them that game, and we would say, "This is what happens." When you say it's a Spursy game, that game I've seen 100 times in my time of watching Tottenham. Well, I won't say 100 times, but I've seen it several times. And I just think it's just something in our DNA sometimes that I don't know why it's in there, that how we seem to snatch defeat from the claws of victory. And it's just something that I don't know why it's part of our identity. I don't know why it's in our DNA. But as a Spurs supporter and these gentlemen before me, I'm sure you sat there and thought, I've seen this one play out before. I've seen this show play out before. And it played out just the way that we imagined it would do. And I don't know, it's not a manager thing. I sometimes don't think I don't know what it is in regards to why there's a capitulation that happens, a choking that happens when we are in the ascendancy of a game. I mean, I lose count of how many times it's happened to us. And this is where you get this word. But I always tell people this. As much as you see a game like that on a negative for Spursy, you'll see a game like that on the positive for Spursy. You'll see it like what we did against Leeds just before the World Cup. You see what we've done against Ajax. You see that we'll do these games on the opposite way as well. So it works both ways with Tottenham. I say this Spursy thing, it works both ways. We can lose a game like that, but as easily we can win. We beat a Man City just the same way that Man City beat us. We beat a Man City the same. We beat them in the Champions League like that. So it works both ways. It's just that it's in our DNA to have these kind of games. And that is what I'll present to my alien when it comes to try and take over Spurs.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I respect what you said, but I don't think so. You know why? Because we don't have the same players. Because we don't have the same players. It can't be in our DNA. It can't be in our DNA. When we went on the Champions League run, that run we went on the Champions League, why didn't we have a Spursy moment then until the final? We didn't have we got all the way to the final. So if it was Spursy, we'd have capitulated long before the final. But we still had a
Spursy moment in the final.
It's just a losing moment. It's not a Spursy moment.
Yeah, but that's right at the end of the tunnel. It's right at the end of the tunnel. You lost
why do we
in
ever
the
not reach the
final.
promised land? How many times have we got just to the promised land? We can taste it.
What about
City? Almost taste it.
So City had a Spursy moment when they lost to us then along that way. When we got to the final, we beat City twice. So that
Yeah.
beating, they had the Spursy moment twice. Then is that what you're trying to say? Or they had a
Yeah,
shitty moment?
it just works
Pardon
both
my
ways.
French.
I'm not saying it works both ways with us. It's a
Yeah.
positive and a negative. I never see that word Spursy as a negative. I see it as it's just the way it goes sometimes with our team. Sometimes we could come
Yeah.
out on top, we could come out defeated.
Well,
Well, I don't know how much time we have
Can I?
left,
Can I?
but
Can I?
all I will put this down to.
Halabi,
I'll put
hold
it.
on. Let's Doku finish first. Sorry, Doku, sorry.
I think it really all comes down to belief. I don't know what it is that we do not instill in our teams, but look, the way I look at it is these guys, they're all professionals, and they're professionals who have come through some rigorous trials. And they're most of them at the top end of their careers. The difference is that some people want to win it a bit more than others. So it comes down to belief. When it comes to skill levels, six and half a dozen of the other for most of the. Of course, there are exceptional talents, but for most teams, the players are generally at about, if you ask me, they're not too different in terms of skill levels of the players. Um, so it comes down to belief. And we look. I've been a Spurs fan pretty much my whole life, and I'm knocking on 60 now. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm keeping the faith. Nothing's going to change. I actually think Enick and Co have done a great job in getting us and in building the platform we have now to be able to kick on. Whether we need new management now in the club that will allow us to kick on, to be able to go on and win titles and laurels now, I don't know. We might win it with the same team. It might be with a different set of managers and players. But I think the platform is there for us to achieve sustained success in the next few years and in the very near future.
Thanks for that, Doku. I know that a lot of people want to say so much now, but let me just add this very, very quickly to what you just said just now, which is this. Look, at the end of the day, we have a manager who has won things everywhere he's gone, right? He's a proven winner. His methods may not necessarily be to everyone's cup of tea, and people always say that, oh, he's very predictable, he's this and he's that. However,
He's stubborn.
yes, you have all sorts of negatives, and that people trust his way. But you don't become a winner by accident, and it's not once, not twice, not three times, several times, over and over again. Now, I for one, I think the board and the fans should just trust him to do the job that he's been paid to do. I mean, and back him. I know we have all this chicken and egg situation whereby, okay, he's not signing the contract. You're not going to back him unless he signs the contract. He doesn't want to sign the contract unless you back him. So it's chicken and egg, if you like. But it's this crisis that we're in now. I mean, I think it's one of these what I call crisis on paper, if you like, as opposed to actual crisis in itself, because it's like people have created this negative vibe all around the team, and it's almost like spreading like wildfire. Every time you open the papers, it's one negative or the other, and it's actually become quite tiring. Actually, it's becoming it's become really, really boring. If I use that word, Ben, you're nodding your head.
Yeah, what you're saying is exactly right. I think they need to back him. They back him, things will change. It's as really as simple as that. And what we have to understand is, I mean, we're in the UK, we see what they're doing with Prince Harry and everything else. The press needs to sell newspapers. What we have to understand again with the press is that with the advent of multimedia, newspapers found it hard to sell. analog papers. Found it very hard to sell. So now they got to fight online to sell their newspapers. So they're going to dig up stories. They're going to make things up just to make you think that X and Y and Z is happening. And Tottenham is a fertile fertile team for most of these guys to just make up all sorts of stuff and get our
Club.
fans going. I mean, we see it every day in our forum. The guys in the forum just go apeshit. So Tottenham is a fertile team for the guys to make stuff up in the media and try to make us do all sorts of things. Hang on a second, I just need to change my camera.
Bobby, you have your head in your hand. What's going on?
No,
Who's that?
first of all, it's a
Bobby?
fertile, not team. It's a fertile club. Now, the other thing you got to understand is, look, listen, you got onto it earlier on, Soji. You know, you know, listen. You have a commodity. Let's put it in this perspective, okay? You have a product, and you're nurturing your product. Everybody comes and just prices your product, and you just be selling your product at anyhow. And then you now start it's a, and you now start improving your product and improving your product to the extent that when people come with their prices, you have the ability to say, no, I'm not selling my product to you again. I'm keeping my product. I'm going to grow my product. I'm going to keep growing my product. And I agree with you totally, Soji, that this is the situation where Spurs are in right now. And I've said it several times on this platform, on this forum, and everything. And I don't really say it on the Spurs forum because coming from where I've been coming from, Spurs, after Spurs, supporting Spurs since Chivers, Greaves, and everything over 50 years, to understand where I'm coming from will be very difficult. And I don't really have the time and energy to explain to too many people. I support Spurs for me. Now, we've come from a selling club to a club, and thank you for being patient with me, gentlemen. Thank you very much. From being a selling club to a club that we now dictate if we're going to sell or not going to sell. Yeah, likelihood will may Harry Kane may go, HK may go after he's broken the record, which I'll be very truthful with you. I love HK, but I'm beginning to see the selfish side of HK. And I'm beginning to see a side of him just wanting to be breaking records anywhere he goes. That's beside the point. But DL and Co. have brought us to a situation that, and a position, not a situation, a position that we're no longer a selling club. And so you said it. In a couple of years' time, from all the different angles of revenues coming and everything, with the look, we've doubled. People don't even talk about it. We've doubled the capacity of the stadium. We're the second largest stadium in England. The second. And if we get approval and within the next couple of years, we could become the largest stadium capacity seating in England. United did not become this wealthy overnight. Wealth comes from seating capacity, audience, other avenues. We make the largest income on Bell Bridges. on home games. Nobody makes $1 million, £1 million. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Yeah.
Nobody makes £1 million per home game. Nobody. Only us. £1 million. Some stadiums don't even make £3 to £1 million with home games, seating, eating, and everything. We have 12 restaurants. We have capacity to do other entertainments. So, see, I totally agree with you. With these other revenues and everything, that's where you get the money to bring it back. It's all about buying players. People seem to forget it is not about buying players, it is about supporting them, their wages, their salaries, their agents, their families. It's not just about buying the players or bidding for the players. That we can go into any field and compare and compete with anybody. But we can't compete with paying 300, 350,000, 400,000 pounds a week for salaries right now. No, we can't. But in 3 years' time, yes, we will be able to do so. Paying off our debts for our stadium, paying off different debts of purchases and here and there, getting money and revenue from stadium rights, naming of the stadium rights, naming of sponsors. I succumb to fickle fans. I'm sorry. I've said it. I
Speaking
do
of
not
fickle
succumb
fans,
to it.
Falabi, thanks for that. I mean, speaking of fickle fans and how things change from match to match. I remember this discussion after a match against Brentford when Clement Longley put in a couple of really good crosses that resulted in goals. I think Kane scored one, and then Perisic had one. Put across as well, and we nearly scored with Kane's header against the bar. And that match, Longley was hailed as a really good player, and solid on the ball, good distribution, and all that. But he came in today, and I think he had what you might call a really horrible moment for a defender, especially in relation to that fourth goal. I mean, I was half expecting, to be fair, that we would hopefully nick one goal back towards the end. And it's amazing how in two passages of play, right? On the one hand, we came very close to scoring a goal on against them, and which got hit against the bar of the defender's foot, and they came back up. And then ours they go the other way. It hits our own defender, and it goes in off the near post. So as they say, games are made of fine margins. That it tells you exactly what fine margins are like. And in those games, those are the kind of things that sort of tilt the balance. You want to say something? Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to continue from what you're saying about football matches can be a cause of momentum.
Yeah.
And we took our momentum towards the end of that first half. And I think we're missing something quite important here in regards of this result, is that once City got grasp and momentum back into the game, Conte didn't use that opportunity to cut the water off at its supply and source and change. I realized, like, when we were chasing the game, he was happy to go to a 4 at the back and put 4 up front and 2 midfield. He was happy to change that formation. There should have been a time earlier in the game when he made those changes to shore up our defense, even if we had to go negative. It's like interesting that if you see Mourinho 2-0 up, he would have shut up shop. He would have parked the bus. Everybody behind the ball, like, we'll make this game as boring as possible. Fall on the floor, roll around, kick the ball to Rosette. That didn't happen with Tottenham today, and that was the worrying thing. Is that once the game was slipping out of our grasp, as you explained, and the momentum was shifting, we still continued to play the same way into the hands of Man City, and they took their chances again. That was what was the worrying thing for me. In that is that football's a game of momentum, and then when we lost momentum after working so hard to gain it, we didn't do anything to try and shift that balance back until we were 3-2 down. And the game was stretched. By the time we're trying to chase the game, they're countering on us, but against our defense, and that's when our defense was stretched. Hence the reason why they get the 4th goal.
Thank you for that. If you're watching this for the first time, this is Common Spurs TV. Subscribe to our channel, like this this edition. Share with people and leave your comment below as well. I mean, obviously, if you're following this, I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching this at home, I would love to hear your thoughts as well. And how do you think we did? I know we lost 4-2, but in terms of performance, right? If we look at the match against how we've done in previous matches, even though we lost this match, it didn't feel like we played badly at all. I don't know. I mean, is it me?
It's certainly not
Yiga? Sorry, there's Ben. Sorry.
It's certainly not you. We played well. After the first half, and a lot of people that watched it were thinking, yeah, we're going to capitulate in the end. But I you know what? I didn't care, because what I saw in the first half was heartening. City came back second half. They came back. Let's give it to them. These guys are champions. They know how to win a match. I think our problem, when they say we're Spursy, I think the problem is that Spurs have found it difficult to become a winning team. We don't know what we've won one trophy in 20 years. So we're not a winning team, but we're trying to get there. You know, it's just like a child trying to walk for the first time. It's going to be shaky. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? We're going to get there. I think this manager is going to do the right thing for us. He's going to get us to where we should be. He's got the right mentality. And all we got to do as fans is I hate to say it, but the scum down the road used to say it every day: trust the process. So we've got to trust it. We've got to trust it. The only point people might point to is the fact that Conte hasn't signed a long-term contract. Well, that might be by mutual consent for both of them, because he might want to be rewarded for what he does for the club, rather than to have 3 years hanging on his neck, and then the stories will always be there. Get rid of him. Oh, we can't get rid of him because he's got a long contract. He probably wants, come summer, he'll say, there you go, that's what I've done. I want an extra 1 million. The journey is a long one, and you know, I'm gonna stick at it. I wanna take your team. I want to take Tottenham to where they haven't been before. I'd do it. If they pay me 15 big ones, I'd do it. Because if he can be the guy that takes Tottenham to where he's going to be, because you look back, we've all said it, we look back to where we were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, this is a different animal. We're in a different place, and we're going somewhere. Anybody can see. That's why Arsenal and Man United fans are screaming, because they don't like the fact that another team is joining the fray. They loved it when we were down in the dumps. Now we're changing. Otherwise, they wouldn't even give a damn. People always give jip to people who are up and coming. And I'm happy with the trajectory we're going. We're not a club that was going down. Arsenal, for instance, I said that name. The scum, last 5 years, they were in the dumps. I know, sorry, yeah, I apologize. They were in the dumps, you know, because they were a team that was always up there. And then suddenly they were down there. St. Tottenham disappeared. We were above them. North London was white, and it will be again. That's what I've got to say. I'm enthusiastic. I'm looking forward to the future. Like Dokun, in our 60s, I've supported Tottenham from when I was a boy, and we're going to get there. We have to get there.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Ben. I mean, honestly, it can be a little bit difficult to be positive at times like this. I mean, as football fans, we all want to win. We all want our team to do really well. And if they're not doing so well, I mean, obviously, people can get despondent and very dismissive about performance and stuff. However, I mean, we live in a world where every team wants to win, and not every team can win. Only one team can win a match. So, and I mean, City are not mugged by any stretch of imagination. However, I just thought that today's match, like you said, Iga, but we probably didn't manage the game as well as we could have. However, hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? 2020 vision with hindsight. For me, I think the first two goals shouldn't have gone in if we didn't make those mistakes that we made. But hey, they made mistakes as well for us to score. I guess that happens in football. So it's down to our errors. Even if you wanted to sort of pack the balls and but you still don't give away those sort of goals. I mean, I'm sorry, it just those are sort of very very poor goals to give away. And I think until we cut out errors in our game, I think we probably still have plenty to do. But it will get there. It'll get tougher. Things aren't looking too great for us at the moment. But I just get a feeling that we're beginning to turn things around slowly. Even though we lost today's game, but Bentancur came back. He was looking $1 million in that midfield. Kulusevski, he looked absolutely phenomenal as well.
It's the first game these two have played in how many months?
Absolutely. Richarlison, okay, he didn't really do much when he came on, but listen, it's all in the process of getting better. So for me, I'm positive that we're getting our players back. The squad is getting back to its full strength, and hopefully we can kick on from here. I mean, I think So I mean that's from my point of view. Doku, you want to say something? Sorry. Doku,
no, I'm in total agreement with. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, no,
I said I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, I said I know.
No, not really. I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with the general trend of this discussion. We're on the up. We've come from a long way back. We're moving, even though it might not necessarily look it, because we're losing matches. But I think we're still very much on an upwards trajectory.
Yeah, that's find out what from you guys. I know we have next match against Fulham, isn't it? And that's a home match, isn't it? Oh, is it? No, it's away actually. Away to Fulham.
I think it's a good thing it's away. Yeah. It might be a bit toxic back at home if we went straight back to the lane for the next match. I wouldn't want to be a Spurs player going back home straight away. Like, you have to give time to breathe. I think that Fulham away is a good game to have.
I think the next home game we have is against City as well. So there you go.
Can I say something to Dokum? Everybody has been talking and talking, and I want to say, and I appreciate you for just staying in the background and being silent and just listening to everybody without interjecting and then just stopping people from talking. I just want to appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Chat to them.
So find out from guys. I mean, I know. Like I said, I mean, before we shut this off and we can all go home. I mean, tough day at the office for us. I mean, so yeah. Now what?
It's 4 a.m. where I am, Soji. It's 4 a.m.
Yeah. So you give your final word first, and then we'll go around the room.
No, let everybody give their final words. I've been here all this time, so let's 5 minutes.
Since you're eager to go at 4 a.m. in Dubai, where you are, so come on, give it to us, then. Come on.
What?
Give us your final word before you go off to bed.
God, I'm gonna have a couple more. I'm gonna have another shot of whiskey. But no, guys, I will not lie. The couple of days, when I say days, I mean matches. For me, each match is like a day. So when I say days, I mean matches. Some people don't understand that. So when I say the last 7 days, I mean the last 7 matches and everything. For me, what I would say is, well, positives, negatives. Positive that for once we didn't concede first. I think this is probably the first time in 14 games that we've not conceded first. And as I said before, people don't look. Let's put we're only halfway through the season. Forget that. We are only halfway through the season. Yeah, we had a World Cup, broke momentum, broke certain systems and everything. Never happened before in the history of EPL. But we are only halfway through the season. I sincerely, all this one will go next week. That one will go next week. These ones are buying this one. This one, yes, 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 yes. But bottom line is we're only halfway through the season. I see positives. I wake up every morning. Forget football, but anything in my life, just be positive. And that's the way I see it. And Soji, guys, thank you for having me. It's 4 a.m. where I am.
Thanks for that, Falabi. It's great to have you. Ben, final word from you.
Yeah, final word. I'm going to repeat it. I'm happy with the trajectory of the club. I think that if we play the way we played today against Fulham, I think we're going to do it. I think they finally cracked that lose a few goals in the beginning before and then try and come back. I think every team is not City. And for all that Fulham play, they're not City. And I think we're going to blow them away next week. That's me. So yeah, it's been a pleasure discussing all these topics with you guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you so much. Doku, final word from you.
Yeah, well, look, we're, if you like, the older wing of the supporters club.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doku. Thank you for those words, Doku. Thank you.
You got a final word from you?
Firstly, thank you, gentlemen, for your wise words and your views on Spurs. I really enjoyed chatting with you guys. I just want to end with saying this is the Premier League, the English Football Premier League. As we've witnessed today, week after week, it shows it's the finest league in the world, bar none. Yeah? At the moment, we have Chelsea and Liverpool 5-6 points behind us. We are 5 points behind third place Man United. Man City are only 5 points behind Arsenal. As my brother said, we're only halfway through this league. In a league that everybody can beat everybody on their day. Be prepared for twists and turns, ups and downs. Today was a 4-2, but tomorrow will be our day as well. So it can change in a week. 5 points in a week in a few fixtures can change. Let's just stay calm, and keep supporting Spurs. Come on, ye Spurs.
I couldn't have put it better myself. What can I add? I mean, come on. I mean, thank you guys. It's Doku. I mean, first time here. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in. Guys, Ben, Falabi, Yinka, top notch. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I mean, Spurs is in my blood. I mean, come on. It's like, so when I say come on, ye Spurs, I actually mean come on, ye Spurs. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Take care.
And thanks for having me. Thanks to everyone else.
Beautiful.
Thanks,
come on, ye Spurs.
Keep it up.
Oh, those